Hello, everybody. Welcome to another SPL interview. This one's been a little bit longer time coming. We got the Glads joining us today. Ksier, the coach, Kyrmi, the jungler, and Stuarts, the ADC. Always been the ADC. We won't talk about anybody else. Um, how's it going, guys? Congrats on SPL.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Doing
Thank
well.
you. Of course, you know.
Well earned, well earned. I mean, it was a long route for. I guess it was a longer route for Stu than the other two of you, but even your route was pretty long. I mean, you went through that tournament, that play-in tournament. It was I imagine a very long 4 days or whatever it was. Reverse sweep in the losers bracket final in the end, down 2-0. You came back against some team. I don't know who it was.
Oh.
Forget those guys.
How was the tournament for you guys? Did you enjoy it? And like, what did you think of the overall quality of the tournament and the teams and the format? I guess let's go Ksier first. That's this way. Ksier, you want to start off?
Well, not fun because I had to do it online and I had to be from my city and I couldn't be with the boys. So I had to almost no sleep. Both reviews very late after games. Obviously, losing to the Hounds after the 20k goal advantage game was not the conversation after that were not easy at all. Obviously the being two games down on the finals was not easy, but overall, I mean, we won it, so I guess in the end it was good.
Yeah, yeah, and Kyrmi, I guess same to you, and also like that must have been a thing, right? You were down, you had some rough knocks to come back from. What did you guys talk about between the games? What did Ksier come in and say to you? How did he whip you back into shape?
For the Hound set, after we were down 0-1, we had a lot of big arguments about just how we were playing the map and what went wrong. And we kind of just got in our own heads over like a few specific plays, and we just couldn't focus on the next game. So we like salty run back the draft, and we just kind of threw the next game really hard by just like not playing properly. For against the Wargs, though, we were still pretty comfortable down 0-2. We were confident in our plays. We just knew that we had to really change up our draft, and I think that helped us a ton. And once we won game three, we were really confident that we were just going to win the rest. Once we won game four, we knew we couldn't lose.
Mm-hmm.
But the tournament was fun. Going through it a second time is it feels different. Other than like, I think the first time is still more special for me, but this one was significantly more hype because of the reverse sweep, how close all the games and sets and teams were.
Yeah, I guess I mean I don't know. I don't want to like put words in your mouth as well, but I guess like coming into the league, you're kind of gaining a lot, whereas I feel like you had a lot more to lose this time, right? You
Yeah,
have to like
yeah,
move and things like that.
yeah. Having to move would have sucked. Planes is at a time where you can't just hop right back into school. I would have had to wait for the next semester, which would have been really obnoxious. So I would have had to decide like, do I uproot my life again and go back with my family? Do I stay down here and just burn rent money? Like I had to like figure something out. But luckily, I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, figured it out by simply winning. And
Yeah.
Stu, you figured it out too. You didn't win, but yeah, tournament wise, you guys came in as the favorites and fell kind of at the last hurdle. How did you feel about it all? Did you come out of it like really pissed?
You know, I was like, kind of like, I wasn't annoyed, but I was like, and it's what it is, you know. Like, if we deserved to win, you know, we would have won.
Mhm.
It's just like, you know, play better, I guess. I don't know.
It is and is what it is. It is what it is moment, I guess. That's all you could really say. Um, I guess let's talk a little bit about the roster change. You guys were forced into an ADC switch. Once that decision was made, and once you knew that you had to make a switch, was it like pretty quick and pretty easy to just say Stu's still available? Let's pick him up, or was there a little bit more of a discussion, a back and forth there?
Yeah, I mean, the situation's kind of funny because I literally landed from on my flight home, and then I get a message from Kabam as I'm driving to my parents' place, and he's like, "Hey, can you hop in Discord? Are you busy?" So I'm in the car with my dad, and he's like, "Hey, DMB got banned. You guys got to find a new ADC." By the time I actually get to the house and we were all talking, we already decided that we wanted to do.
Mhm.
I think we mentioned like as potentials just to talk about and discuss. We mentioned both Wally and Renjaru, but we were all like all six of us or five of us, I guess, wanted Stu just through and through, and we didn't want to do tryouts or anything. We just knew he'd be the right ADC.
Yeah, and Stu, for you, was it pretty easy to just say, "Yeah, I want to keep playing"?
Yeah, I didn't feel like moving back home and doing the school stuff, so it was like, so yeah, play with these guys, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The older I get, the bigger a proponent I am of just doing this fun thing for as long as you can. I think it's super
Yeah.
cool.
That's where I was with the mindset.
What was that? Sorry.
I was saying that's like where I was in the mindset, kind of as well.
Yeah. I agree with it. I guess let's go into slightly more individual questions here. We'll stay with you just now, Stu. I guess it was like I feel like you had your best tournament yet at SWC. Like you made it to the final and you played really really well individually. Like I think you were playing great, and then suddenly you're not on a team in the SBL. You're fighting your way in. Were you disappointed not to find a squad? Were you surprised? And sort of, did you, looking back, is there anything you feel like you could have done to maybe be on a spot? Be on a team?
The way things kind of shook out, not really. Yeah, disappointed. Yeah, I did definitely think I was like at the end of the season, like to like the end of the season, I didn't think I played really well, but like at Worlds, I definitely think I played like kind of like really well, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I did deserve like a top 6 spot, but how things shook out, it just didn't happen. So it's pretty unlucky. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just one of those where some player like Cyclone came back in. I guess you would have been straight in if it weren't for Cyclone coming back in, and then maybe you just get shot outside.
Yeah, it's just some like stuff like I kind of expected Cyclone to like come back on the team, to be honest, because like for example like the 2 players that like mainly like wanted him like not on the team as well, kind of like weren't on the team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So like it kind of was just expected in my opinion. Like even before the season was over, I kind of expected it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kyrmi, new team. You were a long time with your previous teammates. You had like Winter Dogs and Valkyries. You had the same. Was Sharks around you the whole time? Was it the same 5 guys the whole time teaming with you?
Yeah. So for specifically all the players, it would have been at the end of Valk's a year and a half, maybe a little bit more. But Sharks was coaching me before on the team before, and maybe one before that. But
jeez.
So like another year with Sharks.
So a long time with the guys that you've been around, and a long time in that same practice environment. And how does it feel like switching that off, like teaming with 5 new people and having to learn how new people tick and how to practice with new people? Has it been like a big change?
It still feels like Smite, like it's just the same game. It's different people, but it is a nice breath of fresh air, I guess is a way to put it, where I still love all the old boys, but having something new can help like push me to play better and think better about the game differently as well. With that, I think that there was a world that I was on the Wargs and be playing with some of the Valks again, but I am kind of happy I ended up here. I think that the personalities that I'm playing with are like really good for my mental and really good for like motivating me to grind, which towards the end of the Valks year, because we just had such a rough year, like I think all of us were just mentally so shot that I think just having the new teammates is a nice experience.
Yeah,
I still miss all the old boys though. It's sad that they can't all be SPL.
Yeah. Is it just you and Benny who made it, right?
Yeah. Sharks retired and the other 3 didn't qualify.
Yeah. But I mean, I've definitely experienced the same thing. New roster, you get that freshness and that desire to grind the game again. I think even when you even make like less of a change, when it's just one player or whatever, I feel like it can really reignite your passion in practice and stuff like that. So I imagine you're going through that the extreme. Must be nice. Ksier, next to you. Been competing for a while now. Season 5 with Insignum is the big year, I remember. Like your sort of breakout, even playing the Sylvanas wasn't too bad. But have you been sort of, is this SPL like finally making it? Was this a goal that you feel like you've been working towards since you've been in the league? I think you've maybe taken a couple breaks as well between teams, but have you always kind of wanted to make it to this point?
I mean, this was probably the first year I was not looking to be in the SPL. Because I tried to be in the SPL last year with Snoopy also in the team. We lost in the play-ins against Kyrmi. And I decided to kind of not try again and retire. So I came back to the house with my parents, back to studying, back to being with my friends from my town. And then on January, I got a message from Kyrmi saying that they were looking for a coach if I was available. And at the start, I was not like 100% sure about it because I didn't know if it was the right decision to make. I'm at the school right now. I cannot move. I was maybe not being going to be able to help them at all.
Mhm.
And the next day, I told them that if it was okay for me to be able to keep studying, to have like my schedule a bit fixed and not having to go to sleep every day at 4 a.m.,
Mhm.
I would be fine coaching. They were okay with it, and I came back to trying to get to the SPL. This time, I could do it.
Yeah, it's funny how these things work out, right? The one year that you
Yeah.
weren't like super keen to do it, you make it. And I guess just to confirm on that, you're still studying in Spain, so you'll be staying there and coaching from home, which I guess is the SPL. I guess Kyrmi and Stu will be able to touch on this as well. The SPL scrim schedule these days, is it a little bit more forgiving for that kind of thing, for like a European
Yeah,
coaching?
it's way better.
Mhm.
Way better.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
just 11, 1, and 3 Eastern. And I think it's a lot nicer for Ksier than like Sharks, because if we ever did that
Yeah.
last year, Sharks would have to wake up at like 1 a.m., 4 a.m., just miserable times, especially when like daylight savings came through. He would just be like, like he was just ruining himself just to try to make it to scrims.
Yeah, it's some effort. I can't believe that he managed to keep that up while having a
Yeah.
regular job as well. I
Yeah,
mean, shout
he's
out
different.
Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's different.
I certainly couldn't. I remember even when I was coming back from work and had scrims at 6 p.m. after work, I was miserable. I hated it. And the 11 p.m. scrim box, it used to be 6 p.m. Eastern sometimes when I was on the Renegades, and the 11 p.m. scrim box were not good for me. I would, after like game 3 of scrims, when you're going into a game 4 and everybody's going to troll, I'd be like, I'm going to bed, guys. I'll see you
Yeah.
later.
Just mentally done.
But yeah. It's cool to see that you finally made it, Ksier, and you get to give it a shot. Do you think you'll be able to make it
Finally.
out for big events, like playoff events and things like that?
Yeah, I'll be able to go to, like, my idea is to go to Atlanta on June once I finish the first year of school, be
Mhm.
there for the summer, be there for all the big events. Once I have to go back to studying again on, I don't know if it's September, October, something like that, I'll be coming here and flying for the big events. And if there is any issues in the team during the scrims or few bad weeks that we have, I'll be able to move because I talked to the school and they are fine with it.
That's great. It's really cool that they support you in that. I think that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, and I guess like the big question is like, what are your expectations going into this year? How are you guys feeling? Like, do you feel like you can, after the play-ins, do you feel like you can go straight into competing with the, let's call it the big boys? Let's say, do you think you can go straight into being a top 4 team, or do you think this is going to take a bit of time to build some cohesion and teamwork? And I guess, how do you feel the new map and the sort of new meta affects that? Do you feel like it's much closer to an even playing ground with a team like the Kings because so much has changed? Let's go Stu first, and we'll work backwards this time.
Okay. I'm not really sure. I do think we're gonna compete, of course, but I'm not really sure like how the standings work out. But I do definitely think we're gonna be able to compete with like the top teams, of course. And yeah, I don't really know about the map and stuff. It's kind of early on. If it's up to genetics, then maybe he's right. You're right, and like it's like more even like a more even playing field.
Mhm.
Because he's always complaining and stuff that there's not enough to do for him to like brain on everyone. So maybe that is the case. I don't know.
He's typing in the feedback Discord, how can I diff a gold support?
Yeah, I mean, if you're struggling to diff a gold support, I think that might be a him problem rather than a game
Yeah.
problem. But yeah,
I
what
don't know.
about you, Kyrmi? What do you think?
I think I'm really confident we're going to be able to compete right off the bat. I don't think we're going to be like first or second per se. I don't have like Bobby's level of confidence, but we're going to do a lot better than like anywhere that like the Bugs or the Valks have done, I think. With the new map, I think it's gotten a little stale recently just because there's a lot less objectives on the map to like and neutrals to like compete over.
Mhm.
I think 10.3 will bring in a lot of new stuff when that gets introduced, but until then, well, I guess SPL will be played on that, so I think it'll change up a little bit there, but most of it's just going to be fun, and I think a lot of the difference is just going to become which teams can adapt the fastest because there's going to be a lot more big patches this year compared to last, so that's where I think we can do well at.
Yeah, the 4 seasons type thing of season 10,
Yeah.
right? And what about you, Ksier? How do you feel about like your team's chances going into phase 1 and beyond?
Well, I think we have something that is very good. That is maybe the mental that we have, the synergy that we managed to have since the beginning, which I'm surprised about because none of us share a team in the past. I think not me at least. So I think we're gonna be like a very good team this year. I think we're gonna be able to compete, obviously. And about the map and all those things, maybe this is the season where we're gonna be able to watch way many different playstyles and way many different ideas. Um, Obviously, there were already like different playstyles in the past, but this year with the new map, many things are gonna change throughout the season, and I think that is very good for us because we are able to adapt very well, and we have very good code pools, very good mindset, a lot of ideas in the scrims. So I'm very positive about this year.
Awesome. Super excited to watch you guys. I mean, it's a very experienced team as well for a team that's come in through the play-ins, right? I mean, you look at the number of years of gameplay you each have. I guess Stu is Stu the least experienced, the least tenured member
Me.
of your? Or I guess
Me.
it's you, Kyrmi. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I've
you got, like, a
last
bit
year was
less.
my rookie year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Stu's been what, 2 years? Bobby's on his fifth rookie year.
Whoa. Not to like be Gen X or anything here, but like technically this was my rookie
No,
year.
we're not doing
My-
dude, that
my
is so
full-
dumb.
My full year, and then I go to World's Finals. I don't know.
Yeah.
You still lost. You still lost plans.
I mean, hey,
You won 5 games.
not my fault.
Whose fault was it, Stu?
Yeah, let's get into that.
listen,
No, Stu, who
listen,
was it?
On
Let's
this
blame some people, Stu, if it wasn't
on this new map, I'm not gonna complain about my role, but it's pretty not impactful, you know. So I'm not gonna blame anyone, but I'm gonna say it's not my fault. That's all I gotta say.
you. You gotta look inward, man.
I see. you should have role swapped to
Yeah,
another role, and that would have been how you solved the problem.
Perhaps, I don't know.
Cool. Normally I do a random bonus question, and I hadn't come up with one for this interview, but I'll come up with one right now, so we'll throw it out there. You guys are just coming into scrimming with one another, I guess. Who, if you're getting late in a scrim block, say you're going to like a game 4 in a scrim block,
That's classic.
which one of you MFers is dropping the 0-5 in 5 minutes and then F6ing and getting out of the game? Which of your teammates is it? Is it you? Is it
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, Kyrmi.
None of us are actually like really F6 unless the game's like everybody's fucking up, like everything's really messed up. But I feel like if it's a game 4, game 5, it's definitely either Snoopy or Bobby that just wants out. Like they want out immediately. They're done. They're having fun. They're trolling their brains out. Snoopy,
I would say Snoopy, yeah.
well, Snoopy wants out really bad, but he won't start trolling unless everybody else does. I should clarify. Like I don't want to throw him under the bus, but
No, throw him under the bus.
No, I can't do that to him. Bobby's just a straight griefer though. Like he just has too much fun with it.
Is that where you're staying too, Stu? Is it like you're stuck in lane with this Sylvanas who's diving the tower to get the bastions or whatever?
Yeah, and I agree. It's definitely Bobby, you know, from my experience, you know, early on the team. Maybe a little Ronnie. That guy ents a little bit too.
Well, Ronnie just runs it, but he wants to
Yeah.
go for like 6-7 games. Like he enjoys the double block.
Oh.
He
Yeah, he
enjoys
can.
like going more. Yeah.
Yeah, he can run it 7 games in a row. He doesn't care.
he just has fun with it.
And Ksier, like 10 p.m. your time, you're like, oh, I got class in the morning. I want to get out of here. Who's letting you out of there? Who's finishing the game for you, real quick?
I mean, the one that is probably ending the game as soon as possible. I mean, Bobby, if he really wants to end the game, he will. Either winning it or losing it.
One way or another.
So yeah, I guess it's Bobby or Snoopy. Snoopy likes playing a lot, and he will be able to try hard most of the games. But if he can get out after game 3, he will.
Gotcha. Cool. Awesome. And yeah, just one more thing I wanted to ask. Living situation wise, everybody but Ksier going to be living in the same apartments, the same house, or how does that work for you guys?
Bobby's living with his girl still, whatever complex they're at. I didn't have to move. Once Aqua moved out, Stuart's now living with me.
Mhm.
and then it's going to be Ksier, Snoopy, and Scary. Hopefully in the same complex. But we're kind of waiting on visas to get through so that they're able to, sign and move down and stuff. But we're just waiting on that.
Okay, cool. So still need to get the places sorted in the end. But I guess at least you don't have somebody playing on European ping for the playoff tournament. You might have someone on Canadian ping, though. We shall see.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I think that's it. Are there any final things anybody would like to say before they go? Stu, I know you love this kind of shit. Anything you want to say to the fans?
Show the cat.
I'll show a cat.
We have a cat.
We have 2.
I have 2.
2 cats.
I'll show her. Here's Xena. This is Xena, my first cat. She's a year old. And Dio's under the bed, so unlucky. Hate to see it.
We'll post the picture in Twitter.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, get one out there, and I'll link to it when this video goes out. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for joining me. Really appreciate you taking the time. Looking forward to watching you in the SPL again for 2 of you, and for the first time for Ksier. Hopefully no issues for Bobby. He'll be playing the whole time, and Ksier won't be stepping in. We won't have to see him.
Yeah, please, no more. No more.
Cool. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you another time probably. Bye.